Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video will be about Cincinnati and Alabama in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. We'll be reviewing the whole game. I've done a college football preview, but most people are just talking about who they think is going to win, just like how they have the stats. I'm going to be going off game stats versus their ranked opponents. So I'm going to start with Cincinnati. Cincinnati versus Notre Dame. If you look back to the game, Cincinnati was leading 17-0 at halftime, and they ended up winning 24-13. Desmond Ridder threw 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, along with 1 rush touchdowns and 26 rushing yards. Jerome Ford had 71 yards on the ground. Jerome Ford, normally a dominant running back, didn't do as dominant in this game. Kobe Bryant threw a lockdown corner with 6 tackles, 3 passes defended, which is great stats. If he does that against Alabama and Bryce Young, they'll have a good chance. But another corner named Ahmed Gardner, known as Sauce Gardner, got 1 pass defended, 1 interception to seal the game. Cincinnati's defense held Kyron Williams to only 45 yards, giving up a total of 84 rushing yards. And if Cincinnati kicker made his 2 field goals, it would have been a 30-13 game. So it should have been 30-13, but Cincinnati's field goal kicker missed 2 field goals. Cincinnati's defense had a total of 2 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, and 2 interceptions. So now let's go to Cincinnati versus Houston. Desmond Ridder, 190 yards, 3 touchdowns. Jerome Ford, now this was a breakout game, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kobe Bryant and Ahmed Gardner combined had 3 tackles, 1 sack, 1.5 tackles for loss. Houston running back Alton McCaskill, 39 yards, and Houston only had 86 yards rushing. Cincinnati stopped them to only 86 yards, and the dominant Houston running back Alton McCaskill got stopped to 39 yards. And Cincinnati return man could play a factor. He averaged 25 yards per return. His long was 37 yards. Time to look at the Alabama Crimson Tide. So first Ole Miss, they won 42-21. Bryce Young threw for 241 yards, 2 touchdowns. Brian Robinson ran for 171 yards and 4 touchdowns. What a great game for Brian Robinson. Alabama was leading 28-0 at halftime, let off the gas in the second half. Alabama's defense only gave up 78 rushing yards. Will Anderson Jr. led the defense like he did all year long, 1 sack, 2.5 tackles. And I can sit here all day and talk about how Will Anderson should have made it over Aiden Hutchinson, but we're not going to do that. First, Georgia, Bama started down 10-0, then outscored Georgia by 10 in the second quarter. Bryce Young, 421 yards, 3 touchdowns with 40 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. Brian Robinson only had 55 yards on the ground, not too great. Alabama defense held James Cook, Kenny McIntosh, and Zamir White under 40 yards. Alabama's defense also led by Will Anderson, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. Also Jordan Battle with a 42-yard pick 6. So if we go into that game knowing about all this stuff and how they play against the great games, Cincinnati should not be underdogs by 13.5 points. I feel like Cincinnati's going to give them a fight. Sauce Gardner and Kobe Bryant in the secondary will be a hard look for that matchup. Jameson Williams, Kobe Bryant, or Jameson Williams, Sauce Gardner. That'll be a great matchup to watch, and I cannot wait for this Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. It'll be so fun in Texas. So if we're going to it, you're in for a good one. I'm calling it. That is going to be a very good playoff game. And guys, I will see y'all in the next video.